Hey guys, this is another match. We're playing against Bay Bear, and it's on the pit, and he's playing as the Ottomans. So it's gonna be kind of cool to kind of show you guys a little bit of the Ottomans. I think I'll go caster mode. Maybe later on we'll switch it to the old mode, so I can show you like how I was playing on my camera. But we'll see. So dropping the TC next to the gold, which spawn next to our woodline. So this is a really good spawn for us. This is like about as ideal as it can get on the pit for us. We don't get a forward gold. We get a gold on the back by our woodline. That's really big for us. And we had a good stone too because it's back on our woodline. So these are both, it's a really good spawn for us off the jump. Our opponent here, he's going to gather stone first. Or rather he has. So he's a little bit sloppy on his micro there. There's definitely some wasted time there, but he's dropping his military school house. He's got the gold and the stone on the side. So this is a pretty exposed spawn for him. So definitely in terms of spawns, I definitely think I got the better of the two spawns. And then in terms of scouting, we're picking some stuff up here. And he's got a really good scout over here. Like, he picked up a ton of sheep here. He's got 9 sheep. We got 2. But we're going to pick up more here. We're going to go up to 4, 5, it looks like. In the middle, there wasn't really many sheep to begin with. There's probably 3 in the middle. He's still got a couple sheep, so just that this upper side had a lot more sheep in it is what it looks like. So he's happy with that haul of sheep. He's going to go up to 10, 11 or so. We've got 4 here. We'll go up to 5. Maybe we'll get that 6th one here, so that's pretty decent. He's pumping out spearmen. Well, the military school is automatically. And eco-wise, we're pretty close. You can tell he's 1 villager ahead, but nothing too game-breaking. Again, really big advantage we have here is that our gold is safe. It's a really good spawn for us here. Being able to secure this gold is really big. Especially against the Ottomans, you guys will find that, or at least what I've seen, is Ottomans are they're almost always going to be rushing you from the get-go. A lot of players are dropping military school and spearmen and they're just rushing straight across. So we did start aging up, and he's still quite a ways away from aging up, so that's one big plus. And another thing too, especially against Ottoman guys, it'd be good to always kind of scout your opponent. If he goes from military school, if you see stone has been mined, the rush is going to be a little bit delayed. If you see a barracks, he's rushing you immediately. Now here I know that I don't run straight across and scout his base, but I do think that's probably a really good thing to do against Ottomans, is just to run straight across, check out what they're building. Because the military school, okay, you got 3 minutes, 4 minutes, so they're pushing you. If it's a barracks, you're gonna have 2 minutes, and he's gonna be pushing you. So, and if it's a barracks, expect a tower rush behind it. So that's just some things I've seen. Yeah, we're still tapping up here. We're almost feudal age, and he has yet to start on his feudal age. So that's definitely really nice, and it's gonna help keep us a little bit ahead here. Getting the tech up. He's kind of scouts us out here. He already knows where our Uvu is, and he's going to send the spearman over, start burning it down. Something we kind of expected, but again, we can react to this pretty calmly and not have any issues. And he's going up now with a twin minaret. He's going to secure that food. That's a lot of food that's going to be secured right there. Infinite food for basically, you can have 4 villagers on there harvesting, 3 to 4 villagers harvesting the whole game. Rest of the game, rather. Alright, so we age up. Pull 2 villagers to drop this archery range. I was hoping he wouldn't notice. He notices. So we have to fall back. We get inside of our TC range. And we're going to start dropping this archery range. And villagers are still being rallied onto wood. At up to 7 villagers on wood. And then I start rallying my villagers onto food. One of these villagers will go onto wood, and the other villager will start building more infrastructure. and we'll start building a manga die. So we know that the Ovu was getting burnt down. It was taking quite a bit of damage, but again, I felt like it was we could deal with it with this outpost, and that's why I do actually probably drop it down with 2 villagers. It speeds up your building time um, quite a bit. And we're still scouting around here. We did pick up one more sheep, which is nice. But now we have a really good idea of his whole map here. And yeah, you can see here, Uvu's almost down. But our manga guy's out. He's paying really good attention here. He's trying to pick out whatever unit that pops out. And we do a pretty good job. It sucks that we got that first hit on us without being able to dodge it. And yeah, we're just harassing here. This tower goes up. Now he's going to have to move to that other side. We built that tower there because it's in range of our TC. Now we're going to drop a stable. And this Mangudai is just going to be harassing him. The second Mangudai is almost out. So we just got to stay out of range. And we'll just keep harassing here. Goes for our villager. We'll push him out. Since the Uvu is about to die here, I'm actually going to bring my villager up and to start repairing. So it's going to keep the Uvu alive, and it also serves as bait because he's going to try to kill that villager. And he's not going to have the damage to do that with that spearman being so low and the scout only doing 1 damage at a time. So we're able to clean this up fairly well. Behind this, he's going into double stables. He's got a blacksmith out. This military school kind of painful. I think it might be out of that blacksmith range, but I'm not sure. It may be the corners in it. So he's collecting more stone. Looks like he's going to be dropping another military school. And pretty balanced. He's not going super into gold. He's only got 200 gold, so this is a feudal push, 100%. I didn't have info on this. I could have probably scouted that out and been able to react a little bit better. He's doing an archery range. I do see the 2 stables, and I see the barracks, or I'm sorry, the archery range and the blacksmith. And I'm going to deny this archery range coming. If I can deny the archery range, that means less archers. That means my Mangudai can stay here and fight a little bit more. Yeah, the Sipahi can push me back pretty easily, but I'm going to be able to get damage and kind of run away. Versus against archers, I'm going to just straight up lose. Now we rotated some villagers, 9 of them, onto this deer patch, and we are double producing Mangudai. We moved over to our Uvu, and we're starting to build horsemen and getting the horseman upgrade as well. So another thing is we've killed a couple villagers here. Kind of adds up, and we've taken down this archery range, or basically kept it from going up, and he's investing more wood over there to get another one up. We almost dropped a 3rd one, and here we just have to back up and run. You can tell that we're kind of whittling away at the Sipahi pretty decent. And it's doing pretty good damage. Try to focus down this villager, even though we're taking damage from that one Sipahi. I thought it was kind of worth it. We had a little bit of a window there to do that. Rallying more Mangudai across, and we are starting to build horsemen. 1 villager is idle here. This is our infrastructure villager, and we have a lot of wood too, so that's kind of a mistake on my part. I was kind of busy microwing back here. So we killed 2 Sipahis, but we've lost 2 Mangudais. And again, you can kind of see how the horsemen are faster than us. This is where if you need a critical mass of horsemen, and you have to be able to keep it. And he's got a bunch of Sipahi. He's already up to 8, so that's a pretty big difference. And now he's already taking a military lead now. So we do send in 1 horseman to sacrifice so we can save these 2 Mangudai. Horseman was definitely a misclick sending him up like this. And we're just going to try massing. So you really need a good mass of Mangudai to be able to fight that. And losing the Mangudai that I did was really painful. I definitely probably overcommitted there and staying around there. He does a good job of dropping a preemptive tower here on the wood line. So it's kind of secured that. Behind this, we were kind of looking into going into our second TC, and we're trying to do that. But we're dropping a blacksmith because we kind of needed it. We were taking too much damage and not dishing out enough with the Mangudai. and we're rallying villagers onto wood now. With 9, the second TC takes a really long time to really dedicate to. So it's better to be up to around like 11, 12, 15 villagers on wood to really get that out efficiently. My horseman's running around. He's just kind of harassing here. Um, he's going to toe to toe with the Sipahi. He's got a little bit more health than us. I didn't realize that. And he's actually got ranged armor. It looks like he's gonna win this fight out. Yeah, he's definitely gonna win this fight out. Just barely, but he's gonna win it out. And he's got a really good army here, Sapai. He's up to 12 of them. And he's got 5 archers to back it up as well. So he's definitely got a better army than me. And not just in, a lot of the times when we see this military bar, we're behind in military numbers, but we've got better quality. And we try to pick off that meter. Those meters they do a lot of damage. He's getting ranged armor bonus +1 right now. That's huge right now. Yeah, I mean that was like those three shots with 10 guys. That was like 30 damage. That's like almost the difference of killing him and not with his aura. So we're going up with a bunch of horsemen, and we got a scout to kind of accompany. And we see this big army, and we just know we can't fight this. I mean, we could try, but it's not going to be really good. So we're kind of able to scare him away with the amount of Mangadai that we have, which was nice because I think he probably could have pushed us there. Done a lot of damage, but he does get a little bit like, I don't know, not scared, but he does back off of it and he wants to keep massing, which is fine. Really good for us. And now that we went up to 11 on wood, we felt a little bit more comfortable with that amount to get our second TC. This Gur, really we need to move up here. We're putting villagers onto food. To maintain this kind of production going, you need like 7 for Mangadai and 100 food. 120, so you probably need 6, 7, 13 villagers plus 4. So like just now, finally, I've got enough food production to keep 1 stable and 1 barracks going constantly. I've got a second stable, so yeah, this is the second stable is gonna be. We don't have enough villagers on food yet. We need another 6 villagers to really keep our military production going constant. And it's crazy, right? Because he's got 16 villagers on food. And because these military schools are cranking out free units, it really helps in your mass. It's surprising, what can be done. And look at his army that he's got. He's already up to 22 Sipahi, which is really good. He does a really good job of pumping out a bunch of these guys. Over here on the side, we try to get sneaky and drop a tower onto his gold, and we almost get away with it. I mean, we were really close. If we had gotten that would have been really nice in harassing his gold production. And that kind of aggro that we did kind of sparks him to push against us. And he's got 43 now army to our 27. And you can see here, it's a pretty good comp, you guys. He's got 21 Sipahi archers. The 1 meta is doing a lot of work right now with the ranged defense. And we try to snipe him, and we just send in our horsemen to start fighting here. We kind of pull the archers away, and we snipe this meta. And that's kind of a big thing here. So we're trading out our horseman with his Sipahi. It's not a good trade. We do have a little bit better armor than he does, but his melee upgrade is Bloomery is coming through right now. So you can see he wins this pretty dominantly. We do, decent damage with her Mangadai, and we can stay alive here with her Mangadai is the big thing too. And we have killed all of his archers, so we're kind of free to do this kind of harass here. We do have more horsemen coming out, so we really didn't want to lose this front position here. So we're trying to hold our best that we can, but again, he's just got such a big mass hitting us at this timing that it's yeah, I was honestly shocked that he had that many Sipahi out. I didn't think he would. On top of the spearmen, on top of the archers, he massed up a ton of units. I wasn't expecting it. Behind this, part of it too is when he was pushing us, we were looking for castle age. We're looking for second TC. So we were kind of diversifying our eco and trying to get it onto doing other things. And he was focused on straight attacking us. And we do a really good job microing here and keeping our trying to keep our Mangadai alive and garrisoning villas and stuff like that. We are starting to drop some towers here by our TC because pressure was starting to get pretty crazy here. Trying to build another group from Mangadai out over here. And, we finally kind of got this a little bit under control, but we've lost 2 stables. I could have picked up my stables and pulled them back. I just didn't want them diving under my TC and stopping my my eco any. Again, we're just barely holding here. Meta is out. Again, this meta is really big. He's just giving a lot of bonuses. That one Mangadai that we get out, we get kind of lucky that he isn't killed yet. He's getting free damage out right now, but he's going to die. Bad micro by us there. And we do pick up the range and want to move it into TC range. I guess I probably could have done that with the stables as well. I definitely should have done that with this blacksmith. But what are you going to do? And so here, we got a 10 army differential. And he's just gone super hard into wood. I'm not entirely sure why he went so heavy into wood. I'm guessing he's going to drop a bunch of infrastructure. Or he's going to do a bunch of farms. He's dropping this. Okay. So I think he's noticed that he kind of missed macro. And since his army got pretty chewed up there, he's just falling back. And because he fell back, he kind of had to. We would have been able to chew up that army he had. Since he had no archers here. But yeah, you can see now the military count is getting bigger again. The difference is getting big. He pulls a bunch of villagers off of wood and he drops a mill, which is good. He definitely was a little bit. But behind this, we were able to age up with the Kurultai, which is really nice. Kurultai might be a little bit greedy because your eco suffers so bad in terms of gold count. But what you get in terms of defensively, healing these units, making them go back to full health, and then getting that 25% damage is huge. These 8 horse archers are basically 10. So compared to his military, we're definitely way behind, but it helps. Over here, he spots our villagers over here. They cleared out that one deer patch, and they've been working on this boar and this deer. So he sees that. We did move our uvu over here, and we're starting to build some knights, because knights are going to be probably the best counter against this comp that he had. He makes sure to drop off all that food. We had 100 food there before we just let these villagers die. We have cleared out this board about half, and we just send our villagers on a running around mission, hopefully trying to distract them a little bit. And these Mangadai that were almost all dead. I want to say at least 4 of them were like on the brink of like no health. We're able to kind of raid here and do a pretty good amount of damage, and we're getting our veteran Mangadai upgrade is about to come through. And one big mistake here in this little skirmish here is this Kurultai should have moved to the south here. We should have definitely moved it to the south already. Again, these stables I probably should have picked up and moved them over as well. I just didn't mind kind of separating his army from my eco. I wanted to keep him away from my eco as much as possible. So again, coming with my Mangadai, we sacrificed a couple. 3 Mangadai against these archers, but to snipe the meta. And the buffs that the meta give can get pretty ridiculous pretty quick. And Kurultai up here would have been changing a lot of variables as well. But the big thing is we've gone up to double TC and we're kind of booming up here. And he's kind of attacking us and cleaning up our uvu. And there's not much we can do about him cleaning up that uvu camp. Over in his base, he's clearing up this food here. He's cleared up this food. His wood line is pretty strong at 12. His gold, again, he's not going super heavy into gold. A little bit of a mistake, I feel like, on his part. Those units don't need it. This is 20 minutes into the game, and he's not even looking to castle age. I think it's a little bit too all in. We do finally move the Kurultai over, and we're just gonna hit with our Mangata as much as we can. Again, we see these 5 archers. Even if these guys turn and fight us, we win this fight 100%. And yeah, with the Kurultai again, it definitely helps in terms of damage. You know, these guys are they're doing a lot more. Thank you to this Kurultai. What would be 8 damage? Mangadai are doing 12 right now, so that's huge. Um, Behind this, he's got a huge army, 58 to 8 military difference. Gonna be really rough to hold this. We just have to garrison all of our vills. There's no way we're gonna hold this, um, otherwise. So we just garrison all of our vills. We lose a few for sure. You can tell he's gotten quite a few villager kills at this point, and I don't know why these villagers run all the way over there instead of. Oh, I guess I do. There's no more uh, space. So we just take our Mangadai and our Khan, and we're just kind of wrapping back into the Kurultai, trying to get this healing bonus. You know, we had a couple that were injured, and we're just picking off where we can here. They're about to burn down this town center. It was down to like 50 health, and we just ungarrison, and we are able to trade some of these villagers just to get enough health on this TC so it doesn't fully burn down. Losing that TC would have been really bad. You can see our villager pop count is close, but you know, with 2 TC we can kind of recover this. I kind of figured he wasn't going 2 TC because of the amount of all-in pressure that I've been, and we're able to stop this basically 50 military differential push. If not entirely, but somewhat temporarily. You can see he's still here, and he's got 6 archers, which I mean we can fight that, and we should be harassing here. But again, the meta is providing this bonus arrow defense is really good. You know, we almost killed one Sipahi there with all these guys because of the arrow defense basically helps keep it alive. And that's why in part 2 why the Kurultai I went Kurultai is to kind of counteract this. If I could keep my fights close to this, to the Kurultai, you know. I wish the Kurultai's effect lingered, kind of like the Yam or something like that. I think that would be really big. Behind this, we did pull some villagers. I don't know if they're the same villagers from earlier or not, but we sent them over to this other side, built an outpost, and we're harvesting the boar on this other side. You know, it's not a full 8 villagers, perhaps not ideal, but they're going to be collecting a lot of food over there on the side of the map. He's building kind of a forward base over here. And military wise, again, he's got a 30 villager difference. Or, sorry, 30 military difference. Our villager difference is closing in, even though he's killed a ton more villagers than us. And value destroyed wise, you can see we've actually done so much military kills that we've got a pretty good in terms of value of killing units. We've gotten pretty good there. And yeah, kind of a mistake, I think, just how much he commits here to feudal. If he just went to castle, my life would have been a lot more difficult holding off pushes there. Um, you know, I think he had enough numbers to win. He just needed the tech up. But yeah, you guys can kind of see the power of the Ottoman all in is very strong. This is something that you could be very easily um, so scout out for our cav army. Got a Kurultai over here. We're dropping our infrastructure close to this base. We are getting Springo Tower upgrades for our towers, and we are building a lot more towers so we have enough garrison space when he raids us again. Because again, we knew we didn't have the numbers to hold against his army, and you can see that our eco is kind of stabilizing and catching up, but our military count again is pretty freaking different. We do send our con around. We wanted to see where we could get some damage, some kills. We saw his villagers mining some berries, so that's why we came over there and checked that out. Um, you know what? We're gonna go back to regular mode, and let's lock the camera up and just so you guys can kind of see kind of how I was playing. Um, there you can see. We'll go my selected player only. Not sure what I was doing there. Oh, one of the villagers I was pulling to go build some towers or an uvu. Villagers are finished on the gold, so I'm sending them over to collect a drop tower, start collecting gold over there. villagers. I can see I've got idle villagers. I see this big push coming in. I sent some of my knights down to take care of this food production. Knew that would kind of trigger kind of an attack here. That's kind of what I was waiting for. I do send my one knight. Oh, I was going to. I just garrisoned all my vills. I knew this attack is coming, so I garrisoned my food vills. I have a lot of food in the bank, so not a ton, but enough where I feel comfortable in garrisoning my food vills to start cranking out damage. We got a couple of towers up here. We still have our wood villagers going on behind this, and yeah, this is a kind of a funneled area, a kind of a choke point in some sense. We send our knights to go to work on these rams because that's kind of the win condition, I guess you would say, for his guys here. We're cranking out more knights. Our Mangudai are getting healed here. We can kind of see their health, and they're getting more damage. So we're able to kind of stop this move. We're just doing a lot of micro here with our units, and ungarrisoning, repairing there once it drops a little bit too low, and we successfully pushed him back. So that was a pretty strong push that we were able to push back here. And yeah, if you go to reveal map all real quick, let's unlock the camera. Yeah, you can see he's kind of sprawling, but that was pretty much his whole army. He definitely alled in there and lost a lot of units. This is a fight here with our knights. They can kind of hold this. We just got to kite back with our Mangudai, take down, reduce the amount of damage. And these knights are just going to soak up as much damage as possible. Block up our camera again. And yeah, we'll just let those knights frontline for us. Let the Mangudai get a bunch of damage in. And again, Kurotai probably should have been moving up to start establishing a front line here. So definitely a little bit of a mistake there. Yeah, that's kind of one thing is the tension that the Mangudai kind of soak up is always a lot. Again, now that there's no military units, we're just letting our knights kind of just run rampant here. These villagers are over on gold. Getting our Sia Bolim upgrade. And yeah, we're just trying to crank out as many units as we can. And we're pushing across here. He still has some reinforcements trickling across. So we're just picking out those units. Just nice free kind of pickups here. Again, when I'm coming here to fight, I'm also kind of shift selecting and seeing what he has for units when I try to do this. I'm able to snipe out that meter, which is really big. Again, those bonuses are important that you try to snipe those guys out when you can. And when I saw they had 4 archers, I felt like I could definitely take that fight fairly comfortably. So we're bringing back our Mangudai over to the Kurotai, and we're gonna kind of swing around the side and move around. We're trying to reestablish our food here. We lost a bunch of guys there. See, Bolem's just training up. Still got some to go. Mangudai again healing up. It's a really slow rate on the Kurotai, but it's definitely worth it. Dropping our stables and our archery range, and I believe, yeah, we start raiding with a couple of knights around here. Leave our Mangudai to kind of heal up a little bit more. We are going to stop building this and start building our blacksmith, since our blacksmith is burnt down. We really need those upgrades. Really important for the Mangudai to do that. These guys that were doing the boar, I kind of check out. I see that there's 3 relics up here, so I'm going to stop building, or quickly build that prayer tent up and start collecting relics, and then go back onto boar. Shift selecting our military infrastructure. I think we're reorganizing where we're going to send our units. Oh, and we're dropping 3 more towers just in case he had another huge mass or something. Over here, we've burnt down a tower, burnt down a mill, burning down a house. So we're getting some nice little income from that. And we're just around. We start getting attacked, so we fall back from this. Archers, we saw a couple spearmen. In terms of winning it, possibly. But bringing the Mangudai over will secure that kind of victory. We definitely could win that. That's also why I kind of moved the Kurotai over a little bit, because I was thinking he might be pushing really heavy on this side. Wasn't entirely sure. And at this point, my Mangudai really healed up. and I felt like it wasn't necessary to leave him in the base, and I wanted to avoid having idle military, especially like a raiding unit like the Mangadai. So we sent them up and around and started trying to scout out the base. Um, Building a couple more pastures. Here we are finally building a monk onto here. Sending our Mangadai over at a pretty good time. We saw this tower coming, and because this tower is kind of auto firing there, he's sending over some units, and our Mangadai are over here now, and we're able to kind of clean this up. He's gonna try to burn down our tower. Um, he's not gonna get much luck doing that. We have a lot of Mangadai here. It's 17 basically with the con, and yeah. So clean fight there for us. We're able to kill all those units without losing anyone. And we drop off that relic. We're sending our monk over to pick this up. Come over here, and then we're sending our prayer tent over there. Um, and this is when things start to get a little bit hectic. We start to micro pretty much everywhere on the map. Um, we're trying to keep two fronts going, and kind of split up his force. We noticed like when he was fighting us, he had one really big ball. Now he's up to Castle Age, so he's got to tech up and all these things. We're picking up relics. Our Mangadai over there, we burnt down the blacksmith first because they get such a bonus for production time. Um, those idle villas we sent back onto the board. This ville, we're going to take him and start building infrastructure. Yeah, there we go. Stables. We kill a ton of woodland villages here, an absolute ton. And this is really crippling right around Castle Age too, because you're not going to be producing a lot of siege equipment now when you lose that many villagers. And if we just go to base, his eco is down to 47, and our eco's at 71. So we're catching a lot of villager kills here on food. He pulls back those guys from the mill. We see the other ones in the bottom south corner. We're cleaning up that whole base, getting money off of it, which is really good. Clean up all those villagers, and we're just gonna roll around. We're gonna check out the gold and stone mine. We weren't sure if you had any villagers there. Dropping off that, gonna go pick up another relic. Villagers finished the gold here. We didn't want to risk something like for a forward gold, so we sent over that. The Gur over as well, drop a couple towers, plenty of time for the Gur to get over there. And our gold is kind of suffering right now because of that, but we have picked up 2 relics, and we're going to pick up a third now. And yeah, we cleaned up this whole base down here too, which is a pretty good amount of resources. And here, we start to see yeah, screen jumps a lot right now. It gets pretty crazy. Kind of hard to remember exactly what I was thinking, but I'm running my Mangadai through to double check his wood production, make sure he hasn't started that up again. Wood production means archer. Wood production means infrastructure, and means siege. So it's really important that we checked it and made sure that that was still offline. We're getting chased by a bunch of Janissaries, so that's fine with me to actually fight Janissaries with Mangadai. It's a favorable fight for me. I definitely don't want to fight them with my calves, so we're just skirting around, kill a couple villagers on gold. We have gotten this third relic now. Dropping another tower, dropping a couple of pastures, sending that monk over to this other relic. We have a bunch of idle cav. We're sending it over to the mills here. We'll go to my vision only. And yeah, we see this army, so we're just gonna kind of avoid it. We're massing up another one by the Kurultai here. At this point, I felt like his army was this one centralized ball over here on the west side, and we're kind of skirting them a little bit. And so we push in our knights here, and we're just kind of cleaning up this farm and just getting a lot of income from that. We see his armies kind of fall back. We kind of went wide and around. We're sending that new reinforcement force up the gut, and we have a third control group. We do see this manga now here, so this is an opportunity. Make sure that our number 2 control group is occupied and doing stuff. We're hitting these villagers to this manga now. That manga now is pinned. Our backup units that went up the middle are gonna come in and swoop in and get that. We see villagers over on this wood. We're gonna go clean up. Our knights are running into these Janissaries, So we fall back under those mills. We're gonna get income, so it's not like we're gonna be truly idle. And these guys, the third group, the reinforcement group, I'm just gonna let them kind of idle in the middle of his base. And I pull my manga die out, and I'm gonna wrap it around the south, and I'm repositioning kind of a front line. And I bring my manga die over to my second control group, kind of screen for them since they're having these janissaries. I can kind of bait those janissaries to overextend and be able to fight them. Pulling that Idleville to build towers over by my Kurultai, give us vision and speed. Burn this down here. We see his army's not committing, so we're just gonna pull. You know, this is the remnants of the third army. Are just up there, just kind of fighting, just annoying, causing kind of chaos. And we're just trying to bait these janissaries to come into our where our Mangad are at. We have this monk over here. Kind of misclick here. Didn't mean to do that. Definitely a misclick. Um, and we're just burning down this mill, which is pulling these janissaries close to us. And we're going to engage with our knights. It's not a favorable trade for the knights, but since the Mangad are there, it's going to be a super favorable trade for us. And you can see we're losing a lot of knights here, but it's totally worth it if we can kill his janissary ball. We've dropped a couple of towers up there. We're just making sure we had enough towers to all of our vills. We pick up that relic, we drop it off. And we lost quite a few knights there, and our Mangudai mass definitely dropped, so we're going to fall back a little bit. But you can see that there was a lot of the amount of micro that was going on there. So, oh, just a second. I got to unlock the camera and then go to caster mode. Okay, there we go. So, military-wise, we've now taken the lead. Eco-wise, you see we have 4 times the villagers. So that's kind of where those raids up against his wood line, those things were really big. And the fact that, he went feudal all in and was really slow castle age, but he didn't have a second TC behind it to kind of help. Our villagers are going here. We're going to start getting raided by these guys. We don't really notice initially, but we do react. Down here, our Mangadai kind of bump into this fight here. We don't want to take this. We're just going to fall back. Over here, we see that this was happening. And we're just going to garrison. Hopefully we'll react eventually. We're reacting, doing other stuff. We're trying to push up the middle, towers up the middle, repositioning our army here. We still had some army from this first part. He's killing a bunch of villagers here. But the worker kills have kind of evened out now. We garrison these villas, and we take these villas, and we just take them to fight these Sipahi. Just do straight up damage. Upgrades wise, you can see that we're pretty even, though I have definitely more military upgrades from the blacksmith. And over here, his janissaries come out, so we just fall back. But our ballista tower, our springle tower is definitely going to hold here, no problem. We clean this up, and we're going to start putting villagers on the gold again. And now we've got a ton of wood, ton of gold. We're sitting super good in a super good spot in terms of our. Over here, we get hit by this manga now. Luckily, we only lose those 2. We definitely had potential for a lot more. So we have to fall back here. We don't want to fight that. But since we're falling back over there, and we're getting attacked over there, we're going to take these Mangadai, try to group up our army of Mangadai here. And we're burning down these military schools. Burning down these military schools are really big. The Ottoman players, because of the military schools, this 30 villagers becomes a lot bigger number. Sending a couple knights here and there just to go raid, annoy, kill a bunch of villagers. Over here, we just get our Mangadai super tight so our knights can dive the Manganel, and our Mangadai are just going to focus on these. We're able to kind of shred that up, no problem. And at this point, he GG's, and yeah, it was a really good hold on our part, and we got kind of lucky they didn't switch up to Castle Age. But you guys can kind of see the amount of pressure that Ottoman all-in feudal push can give you. They can be hitting you with about 30, 38 military is what he was hitting with me at like 12 minutes. At the 20-minute mark, he was hitting me with like 58, 60 military. So, yeah, it's it's pretty cool what they can do with their military. So villager count, you can see his villager count never really got super high, and ours finally started to peak a little bit afterwards because of the damage we were taking. But I think in terms of how many villagers we lost, we did a pretty good job considering the amount of pressure. And yeah, so here you can see at like around like I want to say around the 12, 13 minute mark, he was hitting us with nearly like 40 military. The actual military army that was pushing us, I want to say was like 35, 38. We were able to repel that. And then again, at the 20-minute mark, we were getting hit with like 50 military. Um, and then again, this final push that we, kind of turned the tables because we had castle and he didn't. And we finally had enough castle units to really flip it. Um, and it wasn't that many castle units, but it was just enough. Yeah, you can see the difference. But yeah, again, he was pushing us with like 60 army here, if not a little bit more, at our base. So it's the Ottomans can definitely do some really impressive all-ins. Um, and it'll catch you off guard if you're not ready for it. I wasn't ready for that many Sipahi, to tell you the truth. I was pretty shocked. So good game to my opponent. It was interesting. It's kind of nice to be able to show you guys finally a little bit of the new civs and playing against them as the Mongols. So thanks for watching, guys. I did want to comment that I am traveling to Peru. Here in a few hours, I'm going to Peru, and then I'll be down in Peru for like 2.5, 3 months. I'll be playing on the South American servers, and I'll still try to get as much content as I can up and going for you guys. This video I'm probably going to be uploading from Peru, but yeah, I'll try to get my content out as much as I can. And thanks for watching, guys.